Hey guys, we are at the HP Omen arcade booth and I am joined by Seagull. Seagull, what brings you out to BlizzCon today?
Well, I mean, there's lots of things at BlizzCon to come out for. One was the semifinals of World Cup. Two was playing with fans at 3v3 at the HP Omen arcade. I ran into a 14-year-old top 500 player who was actually just a god at the game, and I took a lot of pictures with him, and I hope he joins Overwatch League, because he was like one of those Widowmakers. He's like a Widowmaker main, 4400. I was like, what? And he hooked and trick shotted two people on his way down. 14 years old. He's already a god. I was very impressed.
So what you're saying is, in a couple of years, when he is of age, he's going to be dominating in the Overwatch World Cup then, right?
I mean, the talent pool for Overwatch is pretty deep. Yeah, it could be. You never know.
So tell me about it. Have you been watching the Overwatch World Cup, maybe the semifinals, any of the games going on right now?
Well, I was here for most of the day. I tried to. Like on the cab on the way over and before we were setting up here, I was just sitting there watching World Cup. Canada versus Sweden was such a nail-biter. It was down to 2-2, came down to the very last round control on, I think, Oasis. It was an amazing game. I was really impressed.
Now, I didn't get to see the second semifinal game, but I know that Canada has made it through to the finals. What do you think are NA's chances of making it through?
Well, I mean, Team USA's already gone, right? So now it's like, now you're mostly rooting for Canada. I'm not sure who's won on the other side of the bracket yet. So I think the other side of the bracket was currently France versus Korea, I think. So France is definitely an underdog. It's probably going to be Canada versus South Korea, and South Korea is probably going to own everybody because Korea is pretty good. You know, Korea's pretty good at esports, I would say, generally. So, yeah, cheering for Canada though.
Definitely. I think all the USA fans are like, all right, let's go for the whole continent, yeah. North America, let's go. Take down South Korea.
Exactly.
But I want to ask, so it was announced you are joining Dallas Fuel for the Overwatch League. What are your thoughts on the whole organization, your teammates? What's it like for you? What's this journey been for you?
So I've been on, so it was previously Envious, now Dallas Fuel. The organization, I mean, I'm pretty new, right? So it gets kind of tough to be like, oh, how's the organization? But just from the new period of being a new guy for the first month, it was just like everyone comes up and introduces yourself in the role within the organization. Like, hey, this is what I do. If you ever need me, shoot me a message here, here, or here. And it's like, wow, that is really nice and easy. The players are phenomenal. I mean, there's not much to say about arguably one of the best Western teams in the world in the history of Overwatch. They've been so consistent throughout the lifespan of the game so far. I'm very, very impressed across the board.
Now, I believe you had at least one teammate participating in the Overwatch World Cup. Was it XQC's on Canada? What do you think are his chances on taking Canada all the way to the win?
Well, let's see. We had Chips was on Team Sweden, and then he knocked out Chips. So now it's like, okay, if you knock out the other teammate, you better win, right? Like one of us has got to win this, you know? That's what I'm hoping for.
Perfect. Well, do you have anything that you would like to say to any of your fans out there who are excited to see you play next year?
I hope everyone's excited for Overwatch League because honestly, these spectator improvements that Overwatch League is going to have, like we just saw just the start of it at World Cup. I was talking to some of the staff and other members. I was like, so how much have you guys practiced with this? And it's like, you know, maybe a couple weeks or something like that. They had been practicing and training hard for using the new spectator system, but it's so complex that it's just, there's so much more to improve on with the new spectator system. And now, like, it's just essentially, this is only the beginning of how easy spectating will be for Overwatch. And if it's already this much better than it was previously, I'm very excited to see what it's going to look like in a couple months of iterations from now in Overwatch League. It's going to be exciting.
I want to ask just a quick little follow-up before we end. New spectator mode, the uniforms, amazing, all of the color coordination. Do you have any small tips for maybe these extremely new viewers who are just tuning in trying to follow the chaotic game?
So the basic guide to watching Overwatch is essentially you gotta get used to the UI first, which is, you know, currently it's based on team color, so it's very easy to see which team color you're spectating. After that, though, like if you just want to like a basic guide to spectating, it comes down to, you know, who do you think's gonna have the advantage in the next fight? Just look at the ultimates at the top. Whichever team has more ultimates, generally that team has a slight advantage going into the next fight, and then you can think about how those players are gonna like potentially clutch the next team fight with those ultimates or not, as well as positioning other things. But that's the very basics are ultimates, who you're actually watching, and then getting used to all of the effects of Overwatch. Like Overwatch is a very visually busy game in a lot of ways. There's lots of spell effects. Once you learn the game and play it a little bit, it becomes much, much easier to spectate.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for this interview, Seagull, and I wish you the best of luck in the upcoming year with Overwatch League. And for everyone else, you can check out more of our content here on the YouTube channel. Thanks to Omen for supporting our content. They are a new partner of the Overwatch League, and you can follow them on Twitter at Omen by HP.